crash your weekend. I appreciate it.
Well, before I take questions, I want to ask, what are you a fanatic about? And what are you a fan for?
Well, nothing to the scale of some of the people that I've met. I'm very passionate about lots of things, but I'm not really a fanatic about too much, to be fair. Life in general and art, whether it's film, music, or any of those mediums, I think it's a really important part of life. And yeah, getting a chance to travel a lot and meet lots of interesting people, that's definitely a highlight for me.
Well, there's a few interesting people in the room right now. Let's throw it to some questions from some of them. Hey there, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. So since you spent so many years working with like the cast of all of Harry Potter movies and stuff, who do you think has changed the most throughout the series?
Well, Dan went Hollywood very quickly. Didn't take him long. It's hard to say, really. I suppose we've all changed quite a lot over the years. I mean, most of us started as kids. I started when I was 12 and didn't finish till I was 23, so kind of weird having your puberty documented. My voice has got a lot lower, got a bit taller. Matt Lewis has changed a lot. Is it just me, or when did he become such a stud? Yeah, he's a very cool guy, and he's definitely changed a lot.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, lovely.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hey, you okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
Just don't take your hands off the crutches again.
Yeah.
It makes us nervous.
Try and give us a double thumbs up. That may have been a bad idea.
I was wondering what your favorite OTP from the Harry Potter fandom is.
My favorite what, sorry?
OTP, it's one true pairing.
One true pairing. I feel a little in the dark here. I'm not sure if I know as many as you guys do.
This is such a dangerous road to go down.
I recently found out about Drapple. Are taking that as a sign of approval? We like Drapple. I have no idea what the pairing between Draco and an apple. In fact, I had no idea that it was even a relationship. I've come to realize it was from the Half-Blood Prince because he takes a bite out of the apple. But yeah, a lot of people seem to get a kick out of that, so I'll roll with Drapple for now.
I'm pretty convinced that between you and Tom Hiddleston and Benedict Cumberbatch, you guys are keeping Tumblr afloat, pretty much. Have you read any Draco fan fiction or anything? It's a weird world.
I haven't read that much, although I have seen some rather alarming pictures, which I can assure everyone are not real. Daniel and I never took pictures. No, I do think it is awesome that Joe and the films have managed to inspire people to want to write their own stories. I'm a little bemused as to which direction they want to take these characters together. But yeah, the fact that writing stuff at all is pretty cool.
Before I take your question, I want to find out who has created either a GIF or wrote fan fiction or something like that connected to the Harry Potter series. Let's see a show of hands.
Wow, all right.
That's a pretty good sampling from Oklahoma right there. So
good work, guys. Good work.
Yeah. Keep it up, I guess. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Okay. So, do you think since you acted with the same people for so long in the Harry Potter series, do you think your involvement in that has made other roles you've played since seem smaller?
Well, I suppose so, only because usually when you do a role, you do it for one film. Even most of the films that I've done have been for very short periods of time, kind of 8 to 12 weeks is the usual run on a picture. So Draco kind of felt a bit more like second nature for me. I didn't have to think too much about playing him because I almost felt like I kind of was him after a while. I felt very close to him. It was a 10-year relationship that we kind of had together, and it was a little weird and kind of sad to say goodbye to him. I definitely miss him. I don't miss the blonde hair, but he was a lot of fun to play for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, love.
Thank you.
Do you think playing Draco for so long has like altered your personality that you sometimes find yourself acting like him or something?
So are you actually evil or evil-leaning, I guess?
Yes, is the long and short of it. No, I don't think so. I used to think that maybe he was a good way of venting anger. You know, it's not nice to be a horrible person, but occasionally it can be quite satisfying if you're doing it as a role. So yeah, I had 3 older brothers growing up, and they used to kind of tease me in a brotherly, lovely kind of way. And so it was quite nice to kind of vent my anger out on other school students playing Draco. But no, I like to think that Tom would still be the same Tom if I hadn't got a chance to play him.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi. First off, my whole entire family is in love with Harry Potter and mostly Draco because my family's weird. But that's not the point. I was wondering if there's any fictional universe you could live in with no chance of escape, which one would it be?
Wow, that's a good question. No, I loved playing Mario growing up, but I'm not sure if that's a world that I want to be stuck in.
When you think it out, that's actually a dangerous world to be in.
Yeah, right. Big flowers and mushrooms.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Actually, I mean, it's hard not to say the wizarding world. Really, it's kind of weird because I stayed in my normal secondary school while I was doing filming, and comparatively, my high school was very boring compared to Hogwarts. So that's kind of a nice thing that we said as cast members growing up. When we were doing the films, can you imagine if this was real, how much fun it would be? So, but I think I'm not the only one who feels like that. If they could run away to Hogwarts and Hogsmeade and do all that kind of stuff, that it would be very cool. So, yeah, that would be a world I'd like to be trapped in, I think.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hey.
So I've seen some of your episodes of Murder in the First.
Awesome. Thank you.
How difficult?
That's really cool to hear. I haven't been in the States since we shot that, so I didn't really know what the reaction was. So to hear you guys have been watching it really makes me happy. So thank you.
How difficult was it to adopt an American accent?
It was all right. It was okay. It's something that I've been sort of working on for a few years. I knew it was going to be important, you know, to further my acting career, and it was very helpful being around a lot of Americans. We shot it in California. All of the other cast members were American, so it was something that I really enjoyed. It wasn't very easy at first. I won't lie. It started off being a little average, but I think we got into it in the end. Was it all right? Did you guys convince that? That's reassuring. So yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get the Oklahoma accent. All I've really been told to say is y'all. Thank y'all very much.
It's uncanny.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And a few more weeks practice on
Yeah.
that one.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Kelby. How do you go to Minnesota? You of course can't come to Oklahoma and not hear Native American language. My question is, contrary to what the films have really portrayed, the central characteristic of the Slytherin house is not evil. It's not bad intent. What do you believe is the central characteristics that make up the House of Slytherin, and, you know, of course, why we're better than all the other houses?
Wow. You have like a vested interest in this, don't you? Yeah.
It's really clear.
I'm detecting from your apparel that you would be on the Slytherin side, yeah. I'm not sure. It generally has negative sort of associations, doesn't it, for being kind of sneaky and possibly a little lazy when it comes to learning spells and stuff. But I think it's a very valid point that you made about Draco, and he's kind of he sort of personifies Slytherin in many ways, but in fact he's not really an evil kind of guy. He's just kind of been born into it and brought up around it. So ultimately I think he's kind of a good spokesman for the house. I'm very glad to see there are some Slytherins around today. I see far too many Gryffindor robes around. It's reassuring to see a few Slytherins out there, so keep representing. Thank you.
Now it's going to be awkward because we have... yeah. It's going to go real weird real fast.
You just next. Alright.
Alright, so
So I come from an acting background, so I'm really interested in how you went through the character development through all 8 movies. Because obviously Draco starts out kind of a little, I'm gonna not say the word I'm thinking, but
Little sod.
that works.
Yeah.
So he starts out being that, and eventually he seems somewhat like a decent person. What was your process? How do you feel about all that?
It was different. It was useful, I think, in a way, not to know where the story ends as we went on. We only sort of had different installments each year. The books came out, and each year the scripts were being developed. So I think had I known how it was going to end, it probably would have been difficult to portray it in the way we did. The first 5 years, he was just a bit of a slimy git, really. And it kind of felt quite two-dimensional, and it was really nice in the last few years to have a chance to try and shine a light on why he is like that, and to kind of sort of to highlight the vulnerabilities of people like that. And I think it does sort of point a light as to why maybe some bullies bully at all. There's usually something else going on up there, whether they're bullied themselves or they have some serious sort of self-esteem issues, or so yeah. Ultimately, the last couple of years were the most satisfying, I think, to try and get a bit of sympathy for him, really, because he didn't really have much choice or opportunity to be a nice guy, and I think somewhere, maybe just a slim part of him probably wanted to be. So yeah, as far as the process goes, I was very lucky that we had a fantastic cast around us, having a wonderful 2 castmates playing my mum and dad, who were awful parents, but great actors to work with, and having David Yates there, the director of the last 4 movies, help kind of develop that and sort of bring some flesh to the bones. That was definitely very helpful as well.
Yeah. Well, when you're 12 years old, you hardly know who you are, much less wrapping your head around this other character that you're about to dive into for the next 10 years.
Sure.
Was that a bit of a mind-blowing situation of trying to figure out this other person when you hardly know who you really are at that age?
It's weird looking back at it, not at all. I think as a kid you just sort of found it fun, and you didn't really question too much. And actually that's kind of when acting was its most fun, when there wasn't really much of a thought process that went into it. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, really. I just turned up and blagged my way through it. But it was a lot of fun, and I think it definitely helped the fact that we grew up with the characters. We more or less were the same age as the characters we were playing, and each year we kind of got a bit older. So as we developed as people, the characters kind of got richer and developed as well. So that was definitely helpful.
Cool. Thank you. Hi there.
Hey.
So, when you were a kid on the set of Harry Potter, did you ever find yourself being intimidated by the adults, like off the set, the adult actors?
Yeah, it was definitely, there was a few times of intimidation. Actually, it was kind of strange, because when we first started meeting a lot of the adults, I was too young to have watched a lot of the films that they had been in. In fact, I thought Gary Oldman worked there as a cleaner for the first. I introduced myself to him 3 times before someone told me, you know who he is, right? Which I didn't. I'd just been working with Joseph Fiennes, who's Ralph Fiennes' brother, and he was telling me about his daughters sometimes get a little freaked out by seeing Rafe because of his part as Voldemort. It took me about 6 years to muster the courage to say anything more than "Morning, Rafe" to him. So he's a pretty intense guy. And Alan Rickman, he was one of the only other people that. He was such a lovely guy, but a menacing snake, and he rarely took his. In fact, I didn't recognize him the first time I saw him out of costume with no wig and no black cloak on, but he had a lovely mannerism and a incredibly deep voice and spoke very slowly. So I was quite intimidated by him for the first few years, but yeah, only because I'd seen him in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves as well. That was one of my favorite films growing up. So I knew he was a bit of a badass at heart. So, but yeah, turns out he was lovely and had a great sense of humor. So I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Hi there.
Hi. Hi, Tom.
Another Gryffindor, really?
I'm sorry. Actually, like a secret, I'm a Hufflepuff.
Okay, I'm not sure that's much better, but I'll let it off.
If you had your own
own Horcrux, what would it be and where would you hide it?
Just asking tough questions here, Tulsa.
Yeah. Should have prepared for that one. Yeah. Own Horcrux. I'm not even sure. Maybe a guitar? I have a lot of guitars. Maybe I'd put one in that and stash that somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm going to return fire and say, what would yours be?
Oh my gosh.
See? It's much easier to think of the questions than the answers.
I would probably make it a book.
Make it a book.
One
Okay,
of my Harry Potter books.
Alright.
I read them every summer, so they're
Damn it, that was a better answer.
Yeah, she came up with that pretty quickly too. Where would you hide it?
I would probably hide it just in a library.
There's a lot of books in the library.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I go to the University of Tulsa and we have like our really cool reading rooms that look like a Gryffindor common room. So
Cool.
just like put it on one of the shelves in there and just let it collect dust. No one would know it's there. So.
Alright, you've already shown me up enough. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, lovely.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
I'll try not to ask this part of the question. If you had to play a character in Harry Potter other than Draco, who would you want to play?
I always thought I'd make a rather good Hermione.
Yeah, I see it. I see it, yeah.
If not Hagrid. No, it's hard for me to envision playing any other character, to be honest with you. I kind of have a secret dream that maybe if they remake the films in 20 years that I'll get a chance to play Lucius, but actually oddly, it's kind of strange saying Lucius. The film that I just did with Joe Fiennes, my character's name was Lucius, so yeah, that was kind of a bit strange for me. Thank you.
Thanks.
My question is, if you could be in any other house of Hogwarts, what would it be?
There's just no other house for me. I think I'd rather be expelled than... I have a strong kinship to my Slytherin house, so I just couldn't see myself fitting anywhere else, to be honest with you. I think all Slytherins would say the same, right? Hey.
Could you just bring the mic down a little bit?
Bring it down. You can grab it.
Or somebody assist you.
Just grab it. There we go.
There you go.
Bye.
So good.
All right. Lean in.
What was your favorite scene out of the whole Harry Potter series and why?
The one he was in, or just in, out?
He was in.
Okay.
It's tough to pick one, to be honest with you. They were all kind of a lot of fun throughout the years. I'll never forget the first time we walked into the Great Hall, which Chris Columbus, the director, strategically didn't let us see the Great Hall before actually filming our reaction to going in. So that was genuine awe when we got to walk through there, which was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed the bathroom wand fight. With Daniel and Half-Blood Prince, which sounds awkward every time I say that. It was really cool actually, because without shattering the illusion too much, when we had a chance to do spells in previous years, nothing happened. They added in the effects and the colours and the sounds afterwards. So in the bathroom scene, they actually sort of rigged the entire place up with explosives and flashes and colours. So every time you got to say Expelliarmus or whatever, a toilet blew up. So that was very satisfying. We had a lot of fun then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, first of all, I have to say this. My best friend from Russia says hello.
Hello, best friend from Russia.
Can they hear us right now?
Huh?
No.
Well, she kind of can, yes.
Oh, is she on the phone?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well.
So, my question is, do you have like one best day, like, or moment while filming the Harry Potters, kind of like behind the scenes?
Again, there really wasn't sort of one day. I think of it's a bit like looking back at your school years and trying to think of the one day that kind of stands out as the best one. But I suppose every time that we came back together was always really awesome, because it took about 6 months usually to make the film, and then we usually have a 6-month wait between the next one. So every time we got to kind of come back as a family and start again, that was always a pretty pretty special time, especially for the last two films that we did as one, knowing that it was going to be the last one. It was pretty special, and pretty emotional. The last day of filming was a very sad one, and kind of a big anticlimactic one, and in typical British fashion, we all sort of stood around awkwardly afterwards and gave each other sort of odd handshakes, and I got in the car and drove off before I started crying, to be honest with you. That was kind of a sad day.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you. Got a couple of young wizards here. All right.
Come on, guys.
Out of all the Harry Potter movies, which one was your favorite?
Do you have a favorite?
No.
No. Alright, well, hopefully my answer is going to be better than that. I like the Chamber of Secrets was my favorite kind of growing up. I haven't actually looked back and seen a lot of them for a while, but I imagine the Deathly Hallows, the last one, part 2, that's the one that kind of resonates with me for a lot as far as the filmmaking and the actual story it tells. I think that was kind of the best one for me.
Cool. Do you have a favorite spell in the Harry Potter movie?
You have a wand.
You've got a wand, yeah.
No, I haven't really memorized the wand.
Okay. All right, well that's why you go to wizarding school, to learn your
That's
spells.
true.
So.
Expect your Hogwarts letter soon.
Yeah.
Alright.
Got Supergirl actually ready to ask questions. This is kind of a big deal.
Was it fun ever you rided on a broom?
It was incredibly fun. It was awesome. Nothing quite beats the feeling of wind in your hair and flying around in your broomstick. In fact, if there was one thing that I could take from Hogwarts back to the Muggle Kingdom, it would definitely be a broomstick. I miss my Nimbus with, yeah, it was great, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is this a young Harry?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, man.
Draco?
Hey, Harry.
Whenever when you kid, whenever when you're a kid, when do you ever kiss for me too? Because you played a boy.
Well, sorry,
Wait, one more time, Harry.
To me? Come back here, Potter.
You said whenever you were a kid and the first few movies came out, were you bullied at school at all or anything, or picked on because you played the bad guy of Harry Potter? You were getting hate.
I had some friendly banter thrown in my direction, yeah, but mostly because I had bleached blonde hair. They didn't really care so much about the Harry Draco thing, but I did have quite a few protesters, mostly